One day I was putting as I totally whiffed. I went to go retrieve my disc. And when I did, I looked down, and what I saw was some long lost disc. 3 to be exact. So I decided to grab them because I hadn't seen them in a long time. Plenty of dirt, rained the day before. This one had seen a lot of dirt. This one, even more so. I decided to give these guys a little TLC. A thought occurred to me. These discs have probably been out there maybe 2+ years. What if I decided to throw them? First up will be my putter, a P Model US from Prodigy. Next up is a mystery distance driver. It's a disc I got from Austin, Texas when I did the NAD GT in 2023. I know for a fact it's Lone Star, but I could not find any engravings on the disc to identify it. It's pretty board flat, and from what I remember, it's overstable. Finally, the last disc here is an old R-Pro Pig. So today's challenge is we're going to play best shot doubles with these 3 discs. Got a putter, got a mid-range, got a mystery driver. And what we're going to do is I'm going to aim for 7 under. Can I get 7 under best shot doubles here at my home course, JRP? The question to answer is one man's trash the same man's treasure? All right, I just eked by there with the birdie on 1. Got a little sneaky. The pig was a little more understable than I anticipated. Could be too that, I've been working out some lately and my body is a little sore, my arms are. So we shall see, but I'm curious to see if we get our goal. All right, I slipped on some leaves. Reminds me I need to clean the tee pad off, but that will definitely get me a par. All right, that was kind of interesting. The pig had more push than I anticipated. Actually, I really like that. And I'm gonna have to see more of its stability. Maybe it's not gonna hold as much on like a Anheuser forehand, but it very well might have to be one of my workhorses today. Okay, 2 through 2. That's encouraging start. Man, that pig has some more glide than I thought. So what's the story of the pig? The story of the pig was one went to the market. I'm just kidding. So I got that disc from a tournament. I had some winnings. And I had heard so much about pig, and it might have been from Robbie C or someone. And I was like, all right, let me give it a shot. It feels really good. I think the numbers are 4303. And it's really comfortable. It's that R-Pro plastic. So I'm curious to see what else I can get out of it. So that was a very lucky shot that just got through everything. So now I might just try something else. As expected, that driver was pretty overstable. I did throw it on a hyzer because a lot of times when I throw forehands and try to get over like, 220 feet, I turn them over. But I know that's a reliable fade now, and that can help me on some shots for sure here at Johnson Road Park. Hopefully I can find it. It's not the best color. I'm telling you, it's weird. It doesn't make sense, but if you throw it towards the middle with a little bit of Anheuser, oftentimes it will just miss trees somehow and just end up over here. 3 through 3, not too shabby. I'll take it. Yeah, best shot doubles, but you know what? Even that with another partner or teammate would be pretty good too. Okay, hole 4 behind me is 300 feet or so, give or take. Actually, probably a little further. It's dead straight with a slight dogleg right. The biggest distraction is this mammoth tree right here off the tee pad. It gets in everybody's head. A lot of people like going a forehand route. I do not trust my forehand enough right now. And if I did, it'd be more of a hyzer flip forehand with something that's a little more less stable. So I'm not gonna go with that. My hope here is to just kind of get dead straight down the fairway and get a par. That's okay. I think I can save par from there. Not good, but maybe got me to the fairway. If I would have maybe pushed the P model S or US, I think it is. I pushed it a little straighter, that would have worked out just fine. I tried to put a little turn on the pig, just threw it too low. And so it just kind of turned and burned. So I think I should be able to get up and down for a par though. Clearly I need a little work on my patent pending there. Might have to work for this par, we shall see. Yeah, I don't know if y'all could tell from the camera angle, but it was slightly downhill and I knew I was releasing it just a little too high. I was just trying to like float it in there a little bit, but I also contemplated maybe going to a knee to kind of mitigate some of that. I don't know. Could have made it for sure, but you know what? It's all good. Let's try to get one back on hole 5. Hole 5 is about 250 feet. It is a tunnel shot, slight dogleg left. Oh, that's not good. Love this hole, but did not give it the proper respect it deserved. I actually tried to like short it a little bit, take some power off with the P model US, but as a result, I clipped the tree, got a little bounce, almost went OB. So need a good scramble here, save par. Hole 6 here at JRP is a pretty iconic hole. What I think I'm going to do as my plan of attack is to use that overstable distance driver. I'm going to do like the monkey grip thing that I've been doing lately with some of those overstable discs. I'm going to try to hang it out to the right, put it on some flex because I know it's overstable, and then let it crash back hopefully into the hillside. I'll take it. 2 down through the first 5 is really not bad. Usually when I play a normal round, I'll be very happy with 2 under through the first 5. Anything over that is really great. It means you're hitting your lines and we're making some big putts. So with this challenge, I'm okay. Put myself in position for a birdie right now. So let's see if we can capitalize. Back on the birdie train. I always feel like hole 6 is one you got to get. And so that mystery driver had the stability that I thought it had. Probably didn't rip on it hard enough. It makes me feel like it's more like maybe like a 9 speed or something like that.
It might be a 10 or 11 speed, but it's beefy. It's flat. So I can put a little bit more on it for sure. So that's good to know. Hole 7 is a shorty. It's a 211 foot water carry. I usually like a chip forehand with a Toro. So I'm really hoping that the pig, maybe thrown with a little bit of a hyzer to the left, will fade back and do the job. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oof. Okay. I think we have determined that the pig is not as stable as it once was. So those 2 years of just being out in the elements perhaps actually affected it. I mean, I have played maybe a round or two with it and hit some trees, but honestly, I think the weather is probably what has impacted that most. At least from what I see from others, it seems like it's a pretty decently stable disc. So I threw that on hyzer and just pushed straight. Four under through 7, I'll take it. This next hole, hole 8, is 288 feet. It is straight with a slight little dog leg left. Really hoping that the pig and the putter will get the job done. I knew those discs would fit well with this hole. Really liking that pig. I actually, I think I threw that more on hyzer and it just flipped to flat and pushed, and it was kind of nice. I like throwing more on hyzer than flat and Annie. I used to be more of an Annie thrower. So I really liked how that flew. Here's the Pete Model US, and then under the basket, there's the pig. Oink, oink. All right, I'm 5 through 8. Let's see if we can keep the momentum going. A little surprised, but in some sense, I'm not surprised. I feel like a slightly stable mid-range and a decent putter kind of go well with the first few holes. This next hole, hole 9, 384. The whole right side where the road is and beyond is OB. So really my goal on this hole is to stay in bounds. What I do not want happening is for my driver to have a flare skip and go down left and roll into the lake and go OB. And I also don't want to push it too far right and go OB that way. So really the goal here is to stay in bounds and get a par. Don't do a big flare skip. Stop. Stop. I actually like the pig shot better. We'll see once we get down there, but I mean, I really like how that pig just pushes straight, and then at the very end, it fades. It's good and seasoned. Maybe that's what happens when you leave it outside for 2 years. The mystery driver, it did get a little bit of flare skip. I didn't put enough on it. I was just too scared. Sometimes if you put too much turn on it, it comes over here to the right side and you hit a tree, you go OB, that kind of thing. And so, but I got it over just enough to the right side. So it should be okay, but let's see if I can execute the upshot now and get out of here with the par. Okay, so I am 5 under through 9. I'm very happy with that. We will see if I can keep it going and hit the goal of 7 under. I don't want to jinx myself. Hole behind me, it's 237 feet. It's a shorty. It's kind of dead straight. There's other routes you can go. I might try to go with a forehand route. We shall see. Well, I didn't give it quite enough with that overstable disc on a Flex Annie. I was scared of turning it over too much. Man, the pig, it was so close. I'm just gonna have to hit a highlight putt. Decided to use the stability of the pig. I knew if I just kind of took it out to the right, did a little float, but play a little short since it's downhill. Cha-ching, oink oink. All right, the pig landed over here. Not too bad. I still got a putt about circle's edge. It's 7 down through 11, 7-11. Let's see if we can keep it going. And I really like this next hole for the P Model US and the pig. And we shall see. Now, one of the things that it's good that I'm doing well right now is because some of these last few holes are pretty open, and I just don't think I'm gonna have the distance with this mystery driver to get there. Oh. I think I'm taking best shot doubles here, because that first one, that poor pig has probably got a solid denting in it now. Man, I got a putt, I guess, but that's gonna be nasty right there. That ain't gonna feel good. When it's your day, it's your day. It hit the top, because I mean, I was straddled as far as I could straddle. I'm not a super flexible guy. I just tossed that thing up there, and it was on a wicked hyzer almost. And it just hit the top, and it straightened up, and somehow it fell through. That has happened to me one other time before on this course. That's the second time I've ever seen it in person. So pretty cool replay. I'm still cracking up about that putt. So 8 through 12, hey, I'll take it. That pig had an awful drive, but it had an awesome putt. That was some great redemption there, pig. Hole 13, it says it's 290. I don't think it's 290. It's probably like 270, but it's straight, slight dog leg right. Probably gonna try the putter and give it some height, and then maybe the overstable disc on a forehand. That was real bad. I'll take that. That's a safe play overstable driver for me. And just let it skip up there. Might have a shot at birdie. We'll see. Eight through 14, we're doing good so far. Any other birdies that we can get, and mitigating bogeys is the game plan. So hole 14 behind me is about 270. And it is a sharp dog leg right. You really want to forehand low, let it push, and then kind of skip up the hillside. That's what I'm going to do with this overstable disc. Oh no. I tried to cut the inside corner, and that was a bad idea. I really want to mitigate any possibilities of a bogey. even though I think I can get up and down there. But so my goal is I'm gonna try to get to that bird feeder in the middle, maybe throw like a slight turnover, and not go too far with it. Good with that. That should be a par. So the scary thing about this hole that you probably can't see from the tee pad is there is a little pond behind it. So if you push it too straight, you're going in the water. And that's why I was like, all right, I want to get right where that little bird feeder is, because that's a safe landing spot. But honestly, if you go in the air much further than that and it's straight, you are flirting with disaster. So we're gonna be okay. I'm looking at the disc that we got to that first shot. That could have been an easy par. I was trying to cut it too close and be cute and see if I could get it to skip up there, and I shouldn't have done that. So bad on me. These are so bad. All right, still at 8 under. I can do this. So hole 15, this is a tough hole. It's 300 feet, it's uphill. And I could throw the mystery driver on a forehand and let it just crash up on the hill. But I want more distance. So I'm actually gonna try a backhand flex, see if it'll push up there, pitch up for a par. One of the problems there is if you don't get the nose angle right on the flex shot, it just wants to keep climbing up instead of pushing further and then fading out. So it kind of wants to climb up and then fade out. And so that's what happened. I didn't get it under the ceiling, unfortunately. All right, I just about ruined it there, being a little cutesy and rushing my putt. Perhaps I was distracted by the dogs jumping in the water because myself wants to get in the water. In typical fall fashion, I started this round, it was like in the high 40s. Now I think we're in the 60s, and it's gonna get up to 70, so 73. So I'm sweating. The other thing is, I have yet to have a sip of water this round because I left my water bottle in the car. So, a little parched. This is the signature hole. I've gotten a birdie on this hole a few times. Luke has actually aced it before. In the long position, I believe it's 418 or something like that. Pretty flat if you go straight to it. I'm not getting there today. So my goal is to get a par, and I want to aim at that brownish yellowish tree, throw it kind of low, get it across the lake, and then chip up for my par. You know how you sometimes say you're going to do something and then last second you decide not to? That's kind of what happened there. I decided, oh, you know what, I'll just really let it rip, and I don't have to aim that far over to the right. No, that is a beefy boy, so I definitely do need to. I'm actually hoping that the next hole I can steal a birdie with it, because I can hang it out to the right and let the stability crash back. So again, goal here is 7 under. Got this hole and 2 remaining, and unless something crazy happens, I should be able to achieve the goal. Those were awful shots. Hole 17 is right there. It is, I think, probably plays like 270, 280. Maybe it plays a little further. Like, actually, you know, I think it might actually play like 300. I'm gonna try to get there with the driver, push it a little to the right, maybe on a low flex, and just let it crash into the hill, get a bird. So I got over that too much. Did not like that. I like that result better. Well, shoot, maybe I need to start throwing a putter on that hole. Okay, hole 18, it's listed at 270. With the incline of the hill, it probably plays closer to 320, 325. I've been able to get a fox up there a few times. That is the lowest number. So maybe I can get there with a 3. Let's give it a shot. Got it up there, but in the wrong direction. This is too much disc, but what I'm gonna try to do is hang it out and near the bench, let it crash down. Hopefully the angle is okay. That's the big issue here. That should be okay. Okay, so what are some conclusions of this little experiment? Well, first off, before I get to those, I shot 10 under with 3 discs that had been outside for 2 years. Now, let me look at each disc and kind of tell you what I think about it. Way back in the day, Project used to have something that was similar to Trilogy, but it was like a 1-disc round, I think. And so all the holes were like 100 to 200 feet. And so the A3 was one that was used. So I had a base plastic one. And for whatever reason, I thought when I ordered this that I was getting the same thing. Did not have a clue on how to look at dimensions, all that stuff. So again, that dates how long this disc has been around. I will say this, it flies similar to what I thought. It's got a lot of glide. I can see why people like it. Will I throw it? There is so much mold and stuff on this. It's kind of gross that I just don't think I'm gonna throw it. But I'm not opposed to getting a new one. These are 3.5 minus 1.1. I kind of like that disc. The next disc, this R Pro Pig, which I mean, feels great. I like how it feels. It's a really good disc. I do remember when I threw this in the past, if I was playing around in the yard, throwing and stuff, it had more bite. So I do believe that weathering and being out in the elements and rain and snow and heat has impacted this disc. But because of that, is a well-seasoned disc. It literally, I throw it on hyzer, it pops to flat, it pushes straight, and then it hyzers at the end. So this is actually a really cool disc, and something that I learned today is that my putting style, I kind of like putting on a hyzer. And with this disc, I realized I could kind of let it hang out a little further right, and it just crashes back. I don't know. That's something for me to think about. Mystery disc. Again, don't have a clue what it is. I've looked all over the disc. Do not see any writing. Do not feel any engraving. There's nothing. But it flies like how I remembered it. So even though this was weathered, it still stayed very stable. I can go over on it, and I know it's going to come back. I did not throw it full max, so I don't really know. But what I will say is this is a good wind fighter. This is a disc that I don't know. It is one of those that I could potentially bag for utility purposes, or for a super windy day. So is one man's trash the same man's treasure? He just is unaware of it. I mean, it does raise the question of, is it the Archer or is it the Arrow?